Hello everyone, my name is Rachel Eleanor and welcome to my channel. So for the first video on this channel I'm going to be talking about my summer camp experience, the application process, all the documents and everything you have to go through to be able to work in America. So if you're thinking about working at summer camp, carry on watching this video. I'm going to be talking about three major things as sort of the first step to working in America. So step one is selling yourself, the application process, what major things you might have to put in your application. Step two is all about the documents you have to hand in, everything you have to sign, all the other paperwork and stuff. And step three is all about the fees, so what is your money going to? So one of the first things you actually want to do before all of that is, because the best way to work at summer camp in America is going through an agency. Now there are so many agencies in the UK, it's unbelievable. There's BUNAC, Camp Leaders, CCUSA, Camp America, WildPacks. There's so many and they all provide you with different things. They all provide different fees at different prices. Some come with provider flights and some don't. So yeah, there's just so many and you should really do your research. Another thing that I should mention is that obviously I can only give you advice from my own personal experience, so that's going to be through the company that I went through all the way through till I went to camp. So the company that I went through is called WildPacks. They're a Scotland based company I believe, and they're absolutely brilliant. So for step one is selling yourself, the application process. Now for me I had to fill out 4 different pages, I believe. There was something to do with 4 different pages, and this actually took me over the course of 2 days because I really wanted to get every aspect of me in that application. I really wanted to sell myself. So the first few pages are all about your hobbies and your interests and what you like, and you really want to put every single detail and every single aspect. And even if you only have little experience in one activity, say swimming, just put it anyway, because they just want to know what you're good at, because they can provide training for you at camp. So I put high ropes, swimming, archery and all this stuff that I'd done in my life, and even though I'd not had much experience in like teaching swimming or something, I put it in there anyway. And arts and crafts as well, there's so many options for you out there. Just put everything you can think of in your head on this application and just take your time with it, because they just want to know what you're like, they want to know what your interests are, so when they're trying to find a camp for you they can find the right one for you, if that makes sense. So after I sent off the application, almost, I think it was the next day, I got a phone call from the agencies saying that I'd been accepted onto the programme, which was really good. And I spent about an hour on the phone talking with one of the agency people who worked there, and she was absolutely lovely. She gave me loads of advice. She basically went through what was going to be happening next, so all about the fees, the documents and all that, about what was going to be happening in the near future. I understand that with some other agencies they make you have a Skype interview with them just to see if they can get to know you further, but with my company they just rang me and we had a bit of a chat and that was it. So when you've had a chat with them and all that, and then we can bring ourselves swiftly on to the next step, which is all about the documents. So when you get accepted onto the programme or the agency, you'll get given like a profile on their website and you'll get given a checklist. And this checklist will consist of things you've already done and things that you have to do, such as documents. Now there's a lot of things you have to do, such as sign contracts to say, yeah, I agree to the terms and conditions and all that. There's also, you have to get 2 references, so you have to get a reference from either a job you've had, experience with working with children, or a teacher. Now I actually got my references from my old job, so where I used to work in retail, and then I got a reference from one of my old college teachers as well. So as well as 2 references, you have to get a CRB check. Now you can add this onto your fee list, which is an extra cost of £60, but I'll talk about that in a minute when we talk about fees, or you can get it externally. So if you know somewhere like if you worked with children before and you've had a CRB check, I think it's within like the last 3 months they accept them, or I know you can get them through your university. My university did not let me have CRB check through them, but so I added it on to my document list with WildPacks, but that's totally okay too. So yeah, as well as filling out a ton of contracts, like you have to print them off, sign them and then scan them back in, send them off, Yeah, 2 references. I think that's it for documents. I know there's loads more, but I just can't remember them. I should have screen captured the thing, but whatever. So let's move on to the last step, which is fees. Now with WildPacks you pay £395 standard, that's just the starting fee, and that does not include your flights. So that's one of the reasons why I chose WildPacks, so I could freely book my flights and I could go and come whenever I like to, and that actually gave me a lot of freedom to be able to decide if I wanted to travel afterwards as well. So what £395 covers is your visa paperwork, your medical insurance, and 24-hour support in the US. That is the 3 things that they cover for you. So that's what you pay for to them, and that's what they cover. However, there are external fees which they don't really tell you about before you apply, and there's a few extra costs as well. So besides the flights, you have to pay an extra £160 for your visa appointment. So yes, they cover the paperwork, but you have to pay £160 for the actual appointment. Yeah. But that's a whole other video. You have to pay £60 to have a doctor's examination, because every camp requires you to have like a physical test. Not a physical test, like a fitness to make sure that you're fit and healthy to work in America, and that costs on the NHS £60. Yeah. So also going back to the whole CRB check thing, you have to get CRB checked for any job that you're going to work with children in, whether it be America or whether it be in the UK. If you can get that externally, great, because then you don't have to pay extra, but then if you can't manage to do that, then you have to pay £60 to WildPacks to get CRB checked. I think as well it's just really helpful if you can pay your fees on time. It's horrible when you can't get your fees in on time, because the longer you can't do that, the longer you don't get placed in camp, basically, because the moment you pay all of your fees, that's when you can go live on the camp director's website and they'll be able to see you. So the quicker you can pay your fees, the better, really. I know it's a struggle, I know it's a lot of money, but it's so worth it in the end. And at the time, yeah, like if you don't have a job, it's hard, just beg your parents for some money, but you'll be able to pay them back when you get paid at camp. So that's another great thing about working at summer camp, because you get paid for it. And so finally, after all that progress, now you just have to wait to get placed. I know it's a lot, and they do not tell you that when you first look on a website. When you're first looking at it, you think, yeah, great, gonna work at summer camp in America, gonna be spending time in America for 3 months, but they do not tell you about all the stuff that you have to do beforehand. So I really hope this video helped you, and if you're still trying to decide whether you want to go to summer camp, I really hope this video helps you. It is an amazing experience. I spent 10 weeks at a camp in Connecticut called Camp Sloan, and I was an archery / high ropes coach, and it is seriously the best thing you'll ever do. You get to meet the most amazing people. I now have friends for life because I went to summer camp, and it's just so worth it. So I really hope this video helped you. And in my next video, so next week hopefully, I'll be making a video about how to prepare for your camp interview if you have an interview with a camp director. So normally at with other agencies, they'll tell you to go to like a camp fair, and you might get hired on that day with the camp director. But with my agency, they find you a camp that suits your needs, and then the camp director will ask to have a Skype interview with you, and I think that's a really good way, instead of having to go all the way to London or Ireland or whatever to have an interview, and you might not even get placed. So that is that's another great thing about WildPacks. I'm not trying to sell them to you, but they are really a great company. The people who worked there were absolutely amazing, and they got me placed really, really quickly. I think from the moment my application went live so all the camp directors could see, I think I got placed within like 2 or 3 weeks. It was really, really quick, and that's because the people at WildPacks are just amazing, and they're there to help you, and they're all so lovely. So if you're thinking about which company to go with, I really, really do recommend WildPacks. They're a really great company to work for to go with. They're just a great overall agency, and I really think that as a first timer counsellor wanting to go to America, I think they're a really, really great organisation, and they're just all so lovely. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully I'll see you all back for the next one. Bye!